Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. Today I am going to show you my recipe for sausage gravy. So it's really a pretty simple recipe, and the first thing that I always start off by doing is, of course, cooking my sausage. I just got a pound of sausage and put in about a 1/4 cup of water to cook that in, because a lot of times there's not much fat that comes off of your sausage. So unlike ground beef, you can really put ground beef in a frying pan without any oil or anything, and the fat that comes off of it will essentially be your cooking oil. Ground sausage isn't necessarily like that, so you have to put a little bit of liquid in there so that it doesn't burn and stick. So this is my sausage. Now I did put some seasonings in there as well, which I want to go over with you. Seasonings for this is really pretty simple and easy. I'm just gonna throw in some butter. We'll come back to that in a minute. So it's really just salt and pepper and some herbs of your choice. Now, I always like to make a sage sausage gravy. You can buy sage sausage in the store, but even if I do buy sage sausage, I still like to add extra sage in there. My preferred method is to use fresh sage leaves. I would usually use anywhere between 3 big leaves of sage to 6, probably tending more towards the 6. But I didn't have any today. And so because I didn't have any fresh sage, I just used some dried sage here and put that in when I was cooking the sausage. I also put in a little bit of onion powder. You don't want to use, well, I mean you could, but texture wise, you don't want to use like fresh onion, fresh garlic, things like that, because it's not going to give you a smooth gravy-like texture. It's going to give you some lumps in there. Excuse me. So that's why I went the onion powder route as opposed to actual onion. Alright, so I put half a stick of butter back in my pan. And I'm going to do about 3 tablespoons of flour. This is going to create our roux base for the gravy. So you're just going to mix that in until it's nice and incorporated. You want it to cook for a second to get the raw flour flavor out. Basically, once the butter is completely incorporated with your flour and there are no lumps, you're getting that cooked flour flavor out of there. Now also, I always like to use the same pan that I cooked my sausage in, just to get those extra little bits of sausage that stuck down in there, just to get all of that flavor. That's really what one pan meals do for you, is they make sure that your whole dish is getting all of the flavor. So that's really good. Salt and pepper in there. And then we're gonna start adding our milk. Now I measured off 4 cups of milk today. I very well may use all of that. I may use less than that, more than that. You know me and sauces, I always just go by my eye. But what we're going to do is just incorporate it very slowly and gently until we get the right consistency. Then we'll add more, etc. Just like I've showed you in the past. So I'm going to have Nathan go ahead and turn off the camera now as I continue to work on this. I'll have you come back right before we add the sausage and our fresh seasonings. Welcome back, guys. Alright, so I have got this to a pretty good consistency now. Okay, well it still looks a little bit thin, but you can tell when you're stirring it that it's got some thickness to it, and it will probably thicken up a little bit more as we let it sit, and it's still on the heat on a medium low. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in one large stem of chopped rosemary. This would also be where I would have added my fresh sage if I had it. So it's not actually cooking in with everything else as well. Now after that first season with the roux, just wait to season it until you've added in the sausage, because of course the sausage is going to add a whole bunch of seasoning in there, so you don't want to be tasting this and trying to season this up to where you want it and then add this in, and then it's just too much. So now we're going to go ahead and add in our sausage, and we're just going to get this really well incorporated in here, and then let that cook for a little bit longer, just a couple minutes, just to rewarm the sausage and to just let it get a little bit thicker with the sausage in there. At this point, you're going to want to test it with just dipping a spoon in there, making sure that the spice and seasoning level is right. If it's not, adjust it with a little bit more onion powder, a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper, to your liking. So pretty much though, this is it. So this is perfect to go ahead and serve over biscuits or just however you like your sausage gravy. So I hope that you enjoy this video, and happy 2022. We are taking votes at this point for what our videos in February are going to be. So I'm going to give you two options at the end of each of my cooking videos, and you can tell me which one you would like to see posted in February. So for today's options, please vote for either Alfredo sauce or baked ziti, and whichever one gets 5 votes first will be the first video of February. Have a great day.